Chinese factories are exposing luxury brands.
Made in Italy or made in France. Welcome to the real world. Now you see, those bags are made in China.
China makes 80% of your designer bags.
Is the Chinese supplier behind Under Armour? Shenzhou International.
Nike shoes from China to your country?
Who are the suppliers behind Salomon, Timberland, New Balance, Adidas, Nike, First, about one factory.
It's not just calling them out. They're showing the world exactly where your $1,000 handbag or your $100 leggings are really being made. They're now offering you the same exact stuff, no middleman, no markup. In a bold move that seems more like economic warfare than manufacturing, Chinese workers are lifting the lid on a billion-dollar illusion. The bags, the shoes, the clothing that say made in Italy or designed in Paris, a huge chunk of them are actually being produced in China. And with Trump's new tariffs hammering Chinese exports, the factories are fighting back by selling directly to you online and calling out the whole hypocrisy. And on TikTok, it's gone viral. Factory workers and agents are filming inside production lines, showing piles of Louis Vuitton bags, Gucci purses, Lululemon leggings. Some say we make the same thing the brands sell, but for $20, not $2,000. Videos show labeled items sold from the same factory floor at a tenth of the price.
Lululemon sells this jacket for nearly $100, but here only costs you $6 to $5.
The exact same item, just no label. And these videos, they're getting millions of views.
Candy?
You already know if I'm going to take it?
Wouldn't be much of an oracle if I didn't.
But if you already know, how can I make a choice?
Because you didn't come here to make the choice. You've already made it. You're here to try to understand why you made it.
Welcome, my friends. My name is Antoine Phoenix, and this is my RP experience. Peace and love to all my brothers and sisters. Thank you for hitting the like button, subscribe, and sharing, and turn on all notifications so you know when I have a whole new video up. Had an interesting weekend, and today's video is going to be about money talk in the trade war. Now, I know there are a lot of friends on both sides or associates. There are some that hate the orange guy. There are some that love the orange guy. I don't blindly follow either side of the party because I see things that I do not like that both of them do. Now, I will say the T-Man took and put tariffs on the other countries after I found out that the other countries was doing it to us for the longest time. And everybody was okay with that. Every regime was okay with that, whether it was the Republicans or the Democrats. Years ago, they was okay with getting up the butt with no Vaseline. Okay? So, I don't know if I agree totally with his all-out thing with doing that, but his premise for the reason of why he wanted to do it, I can kind of be like, they've been doing it to us. They didn't, I didn't know that was happening. I always did hear that most of our stuff we get is from Asian countries, Taiwan, China, Japan, Europe. It's like we can't make stuff ourselves, except for I know Ford. I do think we are on the tech stuff, such as Microsoft, only because that's white owned. But I figure we get a lot of those chips from Asian countries, though. The same thing with Apple. Steve Jobs was with Apple, right? Okay. Yes, he's passed away now. So, I'm going to be talking about money here. This is going to be one of the few times I'm not talking about relationship stuff. Because part of the reason why I got into this man space talking about relationships between men and women, because I saw a lot of things that women were saying. It was coming out as contradictory and not true, that it was all men's fault and women had a part to play. Not to say that men were absolved of all responsibility. I just now see that women are not innocent victims in all cases. Some are, just like some men are. A lot of times it's both of us. Yet this particular thing here is talking about how a lot of us view money, especially on the lower tiers, the poor, the middle class. Because obviously we either overvalue money or undervalue money. And by that I mean I will see, or I remember growing up in the hood, there were young men with only a couple $100s to their name, but they would get a pair of Jordans that was a couple $100. These days, they will definitely make sure they get that $1,000 to $2,000 iPhone that they can barely afford. I heard that some women, young women, will not even talk to a guy unless if he has an Apple phone. I'm like, wow. This is a big reason why I want to go out of the country. I know it's good women here, but once again, y'all are mixed in with the crap in the filth, and I don't know who's who. And I don't know where your value system is. Because just because you are a nice or cool person doesn't mean that your value system is good when it comes to money. So I have two creators here that made some very good points talking about money. Now my thing is, well, I'm going to roll out reasons why a lot of black people, well, especially black people, because I do believe we have it backwards a lot of times with our spending. A lot of times we will spend money that we don't have to impress other people. White people are a little better, but, well, they're a lot better. At the same time, they get caught up in it as much, especially when certain men marry certain types of women. However, let me explain. This guy from Dubai, I'm not sure. He looks black, but he could be Indian, West Indian. I don't know. Let him talk.
One of the big problems with living in Dubai is that we're completely surrounded by opulence and luxury. Everywhere you go, it's there. If you go to the malls, there are high-end stores that literally just say, you can't afford me. You're driving in your car. You will pass 7 or 8 Ferraris within 4 or 5 blocks. It's just the way it is, right? I take my kids to school. I have Rolls Royces, Bentleys, Ferraris, you name it. Those are the parents that are dropping off the kids to the school. It's almost as if it really doesn't have the value it should have because so many people have it. There's nothing exclusive about it. Yet we know that it is because there's a lot of people that can't afford it, right? But it literally just shows you how many wealthy people there are living in Dubai. But the reason I bring you this piece today is because China has exposed the world of luxury, and it's literally a major weapon in the trade war against America. So my friends, today we're going to talk about what is luxury and why you should not get caught up in this BS. Invest your money in products that will go up in value, and don't get caught up in trying to impress your neighbors with money that you don't have. All right? But let's look at this trade war and what's going on.
I'm crashing out. China, they on our ass. Let me tell you something. Y'all see all these damn bags that I have? Okay? These are the bags they're talking about. Like, I have a Birkin, a Fendi, a Louis. I've never even used this bag yet. A Chanel, Louis, Fendi, Chanel, Gucci, Louis. And you're telling me what I have spent on all these bags, I could have went to China and got them and not spent all this money? China, I'm coming. But let me just show you all the bags that I actually really have. Look at this. Jack Moose, Louis, Hermes, Louis, Dior, 3 Chanels, Fendi. Why is it Chanel, Louis, Chanel, Louis, Gucci, Chanel. All of this stuff that I spent my hard-earned money on, all of this, are you freaking telling me that I overpaid for all of this shit? Let me go on Expedia or whatever and find me an airline ticket to China, because I'm coming to see y'all. Look for me. And I also want to add that this Louis wallet, it legit say made in France. Made in France. I am now checking all my shit.
And this is what poor people do. They spend money on liabilities. They don't spend money on assets. All of this shit costs pennies to make. All of this so-called shit. And she said the right word. China is now showing how much this stuff costs to make in China, and how the luxury industry have been ripping off people when they make stuff in China with amazing craftsmanship and then take it to Italy, and then they stamp the made in Italy sign on it. And all of you idiots think that you're getting this high-end product made with care and timely craftsmanships and the artisans that have carefully hand-stitched these things. It's all BS. It's an illusion that was created for people who have more money than sense. And usually the luxury market is for women. It's women who are investing in all of this stupid spending. And then at the end of their time, when the money isn't coming in, and the men who've been buying this stuff for them aren't buying it for them anymore, they sit there and wonder where the hell all their money went. Let's look at the reason why she's crying.
The Chinese factories are exposing luxury brands.
Made in Italy or made in France. Welcome to the real world. Now you see, those bags are made in China.
China makes 80% of your designer bags.
Is the Chinese supplier behind Under Armour? Shenzhou International.
Nike shoes from China to your country?
Who are the suppliers behind Salomon, Timberland, New Balance, Adidas, Nike, First, factory.
It's not just calling them out. They're showing the world exactly where your $1,000 handbag or your $100 leggings are really being made. They're now offering you the same exact stuff, no middleman, no markup. In a bold move that seems more like economic warfare than manufacturing, Chinese workers are lifting the lid on a billion-dollar illusion. The bags, the shoes, the clothing that say made in Italy or designed in Paris, a huge chunk of them are actually being produced in China. And with Trump's new tariffs hammering Chinese exports, the factories are fighting back by selling directly to you online and calling out the whole hypocrisy. And on TikTok, it's gone viral. Factory workers and agents are filming inside production lines, showing piles of Louis Vuitton bags, Gucci purses, Lululemon leggings. Some say we make the same thing the brands sell, but for $20, not $2,000. Videos show labeled items sold from the same factory floor at 1/10 of the price.
Lululemon sells this jacket for nearly $100, but here only costs you $6 to $5.
The exact same item. Just no label. And these videos, they're getting millions of views. And these aren't fakes. The bags and shoes being sold are real, or at least made in the exact same places with the exact same materials. Because luxury brands like Prada, Armani, and even Louis Vuitton outsource a ton of their manufacturing to China. And now we're learning this for real. They ship the parts to Italy, do the same little thing with the stitching, maybe slap on the label, and boom, made in Italy. It's legal, but it isn't honest.
Damn. Okay, I had no idea that they was doing it on that scale. I always assumed a lot of those things that was made in Italy with the fancy name that legitimately came from there. I know they do that stuff over here, having other people make it and then slap their name on it. Okay, but actually I shouldn't be surprised. One of the reasons why a lot of people have become rich, well, certain people have become rich, is because they delegate that thing of having it cheaply made, putting a fancy name on it, and then selling it to you. Selling it to you. I've always been against making other people rich, unless if it's something that I definitely need, like food. But that's why I don't smoke, don't drink. Definitely don't smoke. I may drink occasionally. Like if I'm out with some friends I haven't seen in a long time, or New Year's Eve. And I'm not ashamed to say that 2 drinks, I start feeling the buzz. Because I'm not trying to drink anybody under the table. I know that is what some of you like to do and say that you're a real man or a real woman, being able to outdrink people. Fine, whatever. That's my personal thing of not fattening other people's pockets. I'm trying to get my own damn pockets fat. That's another reason why I don't support OF. I don't support things where I'm putting a lot of money in, unless if I'm getting some type of value. If it's anything maybe I'm supporting, is video games. Okay, but a lot of those games I play for free. So that I may buy a game and play it, but I feel like I get the money's worth because it's 120 hours that it may take me forever to fulfill that. See, and this is what I mean, how people get caught up in the name. It's going to be a good example that even white people get caught up with a name as well. But black people, we get caught up with the Jordans, Birkin bags, and I do think it is mostly women with the spending, okay? But there are men too, except for our thing is usually tennis shoes and football jerseys. Women, it can be dresses, handbags. Oh, our thing could somewhat maybe be hats as well. I'm talking about for the guys. Shoes for the women, and definitely the makeup industry. I'm a little torn with that because women seem like they have different sources that they can get different levels of makeup for cheaper or higher prices depending on where they shop. Let him continue.
If you're just throwing a label on something and saying made in Italy, but the whole thing was actually made somewhere else, you're lying. One investigation recently found that Chinese-run factories were paying workers $2 an hour to assemble $1,800 Armani handbags. And they still got the made in Italy stamp. It's all smoke and mirrors. These TikTok exposés are cracking the illusion wide open. If your $2,000 purse is made by the same hands as a $50 duplicate, why pay 40 times more? It's not just China breaking the rules, it's the brands gaming the system. And now, the workers who have been hidden behind the curtain, they're stepping into the spotlight and showing the world the truth. And frankly, I'm all for it. Expose these luxury brands that have been ripping us off for too long. The world's factory is speaking, and the message is clear. You've been paying for a label, not the labor, And in this new global economy, the label might not be worth that much anymore.
I mean, let's look at how we define luxury. We admire something and call it luxurious because it's timeless, meaning that the materials it's made out of are of such high quality that it will last forever. Your grandma's hardwood furniture that was made 300 years ago and it's still holding together 100% is worth a lot more than an IKEA piece of furniture that we know that's literally going to disappear in a year to 2 years. But it isn't only that. It has to be exclusive. It has to be limited. And this is what brands do very well. They make sure that they only manufacture a very limited amount of one product to make it seems like it's exclusive. But that allows them to mark the price up because of rarity. And so the next part is branding. How do we brand ourselves so that it sounds rich, it sounds exclusive? Well, that's easy. Just ask ChatGPT. That information is there. Anyone now can literally start a luxury brand because we know what fonts to use. We know how to lay out a design. We know what to say. Anything can be done. I have been really studying what is luxury, and I came across a very long video on it. I don't want to I can't play the whole thing, but I'm going to play this short piece. And it will highlight how we perceive luxury. It will give you a good idea. Remember that stunt that Payless had pulled off, where they opened a store called Policy? They used the same Payless shoes, but they opened a exclusive brand that was called Policy, which was basically Payless, but the letters jumbled around. But anyway, listen to this one short excerpt from this video. And I'm going to put the link to it so that you guys can go and see it because it's definitely worth watching to learn how human beings perceive luxury and pretty much how people get ripped off.
We've talked a lot about how time relates to luxury, but we haven't mentioned anything about space. This is where things get weird. In 2018, an exclusive new luxury brand, Palessi, appeared on the scene. It had all the hallmarks of high-end luxury, but its impressive use of space was especially notable. They held a huge launch event at a glamorous Los Angeles storefront. Fashion influencers and socialites were invited to experience this new designer brand firsthand. They were impressed by the classy interiors and probably felt really special with media and press swarming the event.
For me to experience this as an Italian designer is amazing.
It looks really well made.
It's like very, European, very, upscale.
But here's the twist. Palessi didn't exist. It was a stunt by Payless, the discount shoe store. Those $600 designer shoes were actually $20 Payless shoes.
What? No way.
You've got to be kidding me. Shut up. Are you serious? No.
The shoes were exactly the same ones showed in their regular stores, but with a new store and a fancy location, people believed they were worth hundreds of dollars more. The Palessi stunt was a bold reminder of how much we buy into myths luxury brands create. Now, it would be easy to just say the influencers were a bunch of idiots and that luxury is all a sham. And honestly, that's true to an extent, at least some of the time, but I don't think it tells the whole story. First of all, I have to wonder whether these fashionista influencers were legit. I mean, I'm no expert, and even I can tell real leather from the synthetic stuff they were slapping on those shoes. But there's a bigger point here. It's not that those influencers were all clueless. It's more about how the space surrounding these objects radically changes their perceived value.
I just want to pause it right here because he talked about, you could see that the shoe quality wasn't leather. Balenciaga. I went into one of their stores here just to experience the whole thing. It's a freaking clown show. It's a bloody clown show. I just took my daughters in to make them experience how you can easily be influenced by stupidity. The amount of plastic and rubber.
Well, a lot of people are gullible, my guy. Only thing you have to do is have a story, have a great background to something, put it in a fancy or looks like an expensive box, then people will buy those shoes. Okay? When I see those fancy runway model shows, I never watched the whole one, but when I see clips of them, some of the things that I be seeing them wear, I'm like, who would wear that? No one really. I forget They explain the reason why people may pick those loud type of clothing shows on, and it's not for the people in the public to wear them. It's just to promote the brand in a way. If people will be clapping, taking pictures of that, getting all caught up in the hoopla with those type of presentations, it doesn't surprise me that people will get swept away with things like Uggs. Okay. And that's the thing too. It's okay, it's similar like the thing that a lot of rappers will have their pants falling down. Of course, they got popularized by men in prison, but I also heard a thing that there were rap producers also pushing that agenda of that's how those type of rappers, especially gangster rappers, rappers in general, will dress. Now, the more classy rappers will be dressing in suits or somewhat suit type stuff. The other ones, the hard ones, the ones that make women heart flutter or wet down there, they will have on a tank top with pants sagging down, showing their boxer shorts. And just because some men that young men respected was doing that particular thing, they started doing it. So it makes you wonder if anybody does something, even if it seems not socially accepted, that other people will start doing it just because, oh, he's doing it, I'll do it. I remember my stepfather told me something one time. He say, "Oh, what you monkey see, monkey do." I think I say something because I saw my stepbrother do something, so I did it as well. And when he said that, that burned in my skull of, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it because I want to do it, not just because, oh, this person does it and I want to be cool like him. I might do something someone does because they are successful doing it, they're making money doing it. I might do it because of that, but not because they are dressed in a certain way, smoking a cigarette, oh, making it look cool. That's why a lot of people do a lot of things in this era and in past eras, because people would do it that people thought that they were cool, and then they would like to be like them. I wonder if I should stop this video. Look, not a lot of you have time to sit for an hour video. So you can break out now. I have one other video by Ticket TV that made some great points about money. This does cover more of the first part about the trade war, but the second part is definitely about money in general. So if you can save for that one, I appreciate. If you can't, give me a like and subscribe and come back.
But he be making $20,000 an hour. Yep. You guys got to think about this stuff, man. So when they say, oh, Diddy got the money, man, listen, man. Y'all don't understand. When they say these people they say Diddy's worth $400 million. Go ask how much cash Diddy got. That's the thing y'all got to understand. Because now all this other stuff comes to assets, stocks, bonds, investments. All that's not liquid. This is the thing people not understanding. All this shit is not paper money. Diddy ain't going to the bank and taking out $400 million. That's the part y'all not understanding. So when they say, oh, this guy's worth $400 million, they talking about, okay, let's say if they say Diddy's worth $400 million, that means he probably got like 150 in the bank. Right? With investments, that's probably about another 100 million, 150 million. So that's 300 million right there. You know what I'm saying? And then other things that he have going on, that he have his name on, or just things that he have that he owns that's worth something. Real estate, things like that. Boom. It adds up to 400, 500 million. Period. To the person who said Diddy's a billionaire, he ain't a billionaire, bro. You guys got to understand that. Shout out to the Music Recording Network with the $50 donation. Salute to you, brother. Much love, honor, and respect to you. I appreciate you, man. But this is what I'm telling people. So when y'all talk about this bread and this money and stacking this thing up like this and adding this stuff up, bro, that stuff So listen, if Diddy got $100 million, right? So yeah, so that one house he got, $50 million. And remember this, y'all, that house that he had that was $50 million wasn't even paid off. He paid it off after he had these problems just so he could put it up for a bail. And they still rejected his bail. He was paying on that house. And I want y'all to think about this. Diddy's son had been having him money problems. He couldn't even pay his bill on his card. They are paying payments on cars. This how y'all know. I be trying to tell y'all this. People don't understand this shit, bro. If you listen, let me tell y'all something. I hate doing a payment plan on something. I always want to walk in there, pay whatever it is, and walk out. I never want to do a payment plan. So when you see a guy like Diddy, and he got payment plans for certain things, they owe money on, or may owe money here or there on cards or this, that, or third. You understand what I'm saying? Now it starts to show y'all that all of this stuff ain't what y'all think it is. Right? All that flossing, all that spending money, that shit evaporate quick. Don't y'all know you spend money fast? People spend money faster than what they make it. You spend money faster than what you make it. Everybody in this, let me say this to y'all. Everybody in this chat room that got a job, you may have touched in your lifetime. Let's say you're 40 years old, right? Let's just say that you guys are, let's say you're 30 years old, right? Let's say you've worked for the last 10 years, right? You may have touched $350,000. How much of it did you save? So let's just say out of the last 10 years, some of y'all that's 30 years old, you've touched $375,000 in 10 years, right? And that's on the low end for what some people's getting, because some of y'all are making 100, 125, 130, 150 a year. But some of y'all, you only making 50, 60. So I'm talking to the people that's making 50, 60, something like that a year, right? Think about this. So you're talking about 10 years. Let's say it's 375. How much of that money did you keep? Think about it. You probably spent most of that money on rent, paying off your credit cards, right? Paying off your car. Your car ain't even yours. You ain't even finished paying off your car. Groceries. When you look at your bank account, you're like, damn, I ain't even got. Like you could have worked for the last 10 years. Think about this. You could have worked for the last 10 years. You might not even have $5,000 in the bank. Think about that shit, yo. You might have touched $300, almost $400,000, and you might not even have $5,000 in the bank.
And that's the thing right there. As a man, I found out to not live beyond my means. Okay? Because I think of all of the money I slaved and worked for and I spent. And I'm not stupid with money, but I am stupid with women when I'm in a relationship with money, because I used to try to make them happy. And after the way I was done toward the end, and even in the middle, okay, with how And not just with them leaving, how they started treating me in parts before it got to that. That's the part they want to forget. I don't forget nothing. Okay. So now, especially with most of the women that I meet over here in the US, I'm never going all the way out spending for her to try to make her happy or to, I mean, it's in me to take care of a woman. I guess that's my default setting, but I'm just not going to go broke doing it because I know in the end, she's not going to care any of the things that I did for her. She's just going to care of how she feels now. Unless if she has ride or die energy. And because I know that doesn't last, it's real good when it's there, but it doesn't last, okay? And it will vanish suddenly years down the line. Because of that, I have to still be cautious of how I spend my money. And this is where a lot of men go wrong. Trying to impress people, trying to keep up with the Joneses, spending money that you don't have, always using it to get high or get drunk for the weekend. Of course, you're stressed out. Okay, I get that. But doing that is not going to change your life. Okay? I have enough money now that if things went left, I would be okay for a good 3 to 6 months. Okay. Now, I know that's impressive. And it took me a lot to get here. And I'm not going to give it up for any broad that just comes in my lap and just goes, meow, I love you. I'll never do what she did to you. I don't believe none of y'all now. I'm talking about the women. I don't believe none of y'all now. Y'all have to show and prove who you are throughout the relationship. Not just for the day, but for tomorrow. And to be fair, I'm going to do the same thing because I like that challenge. Let him finish up.
Just because they tell y'all these dudes that didn't know that, bro, that shit don't mean nothing. That's why we try to tell people, bro, listen, I can do videos about this type of stuff. It's called investments. It's called saving your money and being responsible. For example, let me give y'all an example, right? People complain about money they make. I want y'all to think about this, right? But they don't complain about how they mismanage their money. Let's think about what I'm saying to y'all, right? Right? Instead of putting your money into something where you can make money off your own money and getting your money back, people waste their money on stupid stuff. Gotta have a new pair of shoes. So let's just say this right now. Watch this, y'all. It's dudes in here that every single week 2 weeks they get paid. So let's say they get a check. Every 2 weeks they get a check. You know what these niggas is doing? Going to buy new shoes. They got 1,000 pair of shoes, right? So let's just say each of those shoes is worth $100. Now I want y'all to think about this now. Everybody watching this video. $100 times 1,000. That's $100,000 right there. Now some of them shoes is $150, $200. So we're not going to say that. We're just going to use the bare minimum. And I'm talking about the last 10 years. Some of these dudes getting 2-3 pair of shoes every paycheck. Oh, I got to have my shoe collector. I got to have the new shoes. I ain't even wearing them things 1, 2, 3 times. That's $100,000 right there. I want y'all to think about this. If you're a smoker, you smoke cigarettes, you work a 9 to 5, right? You could easily say, you know what, man? Me keeping my money is worth more than me smoking these cigarettes. But you always got to go get a Newport in a box. Or you got to get the soft pack. Whatever you do, right? Think about what I'm saying to y'all right now. I want everybody to really think about the information I'm putting in y'all's mind, right? So instead of you saying, you know what? Somebody in the comment section right now who smokes, how much is a box of cigarettes? A box of Newports? How much is a box of Newports right now? I'm asking everybody in the comment section because I want to show y'all something when it pertains to this Diddy situation and how this money and stuff just goes quick. People keep thinking people got money forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. It don't work like that. If you don't have money consistently coming in, you ain't gonna keep having money forever. For a box of Newports, how much? Somebody said $15 for a box of Newports, right? $12, $15. Now check this out, y'all. How many boxes of Newports do you smoke a day? Right? I'm asking somebody in this question. Somebody said 18. All right, so we'll use this. We'll just say it's $13.50, right? Let's say y'all smoking, because these people be going through a box a day. I be see people going through a box a day, right? So check this out, y'all. Let's say you smoke 10 boxes of cigarettes a week. Think about this. 10 times $13.50 equals $135 a week. You spend $135 a week on cigarettes. Think about this now. Now I want y'all to think about this. Right? Now watch this. Let's go to Google. How many weeks are in a year? Right? One calendar year. Yeah, around 52 weeks, right? Bro, just off those boxes of cigarettes, 10 boxes of cigarettes a week. That's $7,000 you could have in your pocket every single year. Now, let's say you've been smoking cigarettes for 10 years. What's 7,000 times 10? $70,000. Think about that. If you didn't smoke, you say, damn, I'd had an extra $7,000 in my pocket just the last 10 years if I wasn't smoking. Now think about this. Y'all know the same people that smoke, they drinking. They drinking, right? They drinking beer. They drinking liquor. All of this stuff, right? Whiskey, all kind of shit. So think about this. That's $70,000 in 10 years just smoking cigarettes. Now watch this. So if you drink, some of y'all go through a pack. Man, these motherfuckers be buying a 6-pack or 12-pack, or whatever y'all buy, 24-pack, whatever it is. Let's say that you drink. You're a drinker, right? Let's say you're spending. Let's say you're spending another $150 a week on beer. 10 years, that's another $70,000. That's $140,000 right there. That's another $140,000 right there in 10 years. 10 years that you could have had in your pocket. Just that. Now think about what I'm just saying to y'all now. Now, take it to this. Now let's talk about all the other shit that y'all do that y'all don't even need. Buying TVs when you don't need them. I gotta go get a big screen, man. Give me about 500, 600, 700. Think about this now. Think about what I'm saying now. Right? Buying all them gadgets in your house that you got in your kitchen that you don't ever use. This stuff all add up. This stuff all add up. So basically what I'm saying is, if you are disciplined, think about this. If you're disciplined for 10 years, you can set yourself up with enough money to work the job you really want to work. But people ain't got the type of discipline. And then y'all sit up here and look at celebrities and say, oh man, they got money forever. Man, why y'all think these people got to keep doing this stuff? They have to keep doing things to continue to earn with the lifestyle that they live. These are the things that they're not teaching y'all. Shout out to Dale Gordon, the cash out the donation. Salute to you. You said truth teller. Salute to you, brother. Much love to you. I appreciate you for the donation. But this is the type of stuff that people are not telling y'all. I'm telling y'all what the real is. I'm telling y'all what the real is. So I just want people to look at this stuff or look at what I'm saying and understand that what I'm saying is real, man. When they talk about, oh, Diddy got money, man, he ain't working no more right now. Y'all got to understand something. They cut Diddy all his finances off. That's something different. When your finances get cut off and you ain't making money and you spending money, that's going down all the time. You have to continue to make money. That's why I knew that Charles Barkley was full of ish when he sat up there acting like and talking like he was just gonna stop. When Charles Barkley sat up there like a damn fool, act like he was gonna just stop doing inside the NBA, I said he's a liar. You getting paid $100-something million to do that easy TV show? You ain't gonna stop. You damn sure you be a damn fool to stop. You ain't gotta do nothing but sit up there and laugh and talk about basketball. You be a damn fool to stop that money keep coming. And then you seen what happened as soon as they was ready to take that show away, they got mad. They was like, "Oh man, y'all." When they act like they was gonna retire, they wasn't planning on retiring. They was just jerking around them people to make sure they got their bread up. That's exactly what they were doing. And they were playing the game smart. But then as soon as they thought that they was really going to lose that show and lose that easy check, man, they're like, man, because that money go fast. When you live a certain lifestyle and you live it, bro, that money goes fast. So for all y'all sitting here saying, hey, man, Diddy and them just got all this money, bro, he ain't making money right now. He ain't got money coming in. They cut off all his sources of income. So all that money y'all think he got, he ain't got it. He ain't got it. He ain't got it. He got to build that up. He got to build that up. And get that to a point to where, you know what I'm saying, it's continuously coming in. That's why he was always doing different brand stuff. To keep the money coming in. That is very important. All right? And I think people really got to understand that part of what I'm saying to y'all. That part is very important. That. So hopefully people do realize and recognize what I'm saying, man. I'm just trying to show some love to y'all and tell y'all something. I know I probably put some on some people's mind and they're like, damn, dog, I do be spending way too much money that I ain't got to spend. Because if I had that money, damn it, I could have went and bought my stuff. Some of y'all still paying on the house that y'all going to be paying on for the next 25 years. When if you would have saved money, damn, your house would have probably halfway then paid off. Then all your money, you just say that. And you just build up. You cook. That's how you do. But y'all definitely let me know what y'all think, man.
That right there is Ticket TV. He mostly be talking about sports. I guess P. Diddy because he's black and also he's in entertainment. He do talk about white people dramas that be going on. I guess maybe because his fan base is mostly black. They don't usually get the numbers when he talk about things that white people may be doing or going through. It's only when he talk about LeBron James or Diddy, he gets his highest numbers of people there. That's why I'm trying to have a broad viewership. I'm talking from the man's perspective, but I also do love women. I like women. I have a lot of women friends and associates. So the ones that will listen, I want them to also partake in this journey right here. And before I cut this video off, I want to say since I've been single in the US, and of course I've dated here and there, and every time I've dated, I spend a bit of money in those short flings that I've had. I notice when I'm not in a long-term relationship, I have a lot more money. Because women are expensive, okay? And I know I was talking to a woman and she was saying, well, okay, I say something of sometimes I want a girlfriend, but I don't. because there's a lot of women walking around that's like a Ferrari. Okay, they are Ferrari prices, and of course, if she's very attractive and at least nice enough, I'll lease it. Okay, I'll entertain it for a while, but I probably would not be able to keep up with the payments. And she was saying, "Well, I'm a Honda Civic," and I'm looking at her because I know her. I'm like, "You're a Honda Civic that wants to be paid like you are a Bentley." Okay, okay. So that's the funny thing right there. I guess the only woman that I would really get serious with over here is if I happen to luck up and meet a woman that we're about to go out and she's like, "Oh no, we don't have to do too much. We can go on a picnic. We can I can make us something and we can go on a boat ride or something, or we can play miniature golf. We don't have to do an extravagant night out." Now that's the woman that I want to spend for. But I'll need her to stop me. I'll need her to stop me because I'll be like, "Oh, she's humble. She doesn't need me to go all out, but I want to go all out for her, but she'll stop me." She'll stop. I believe I'll stop myself now, but I don't know because I haven't been in that particular situation. So, for men out there, as most of the time they'll say, get your money up, but get your priorities straight, your values right. Stop spending money that you don't have. If you have only $100 and something comes up, even if it's something that you think, "Oh, if I put money on this, I can double my money. If I put this $100 on it, I can triple my money." And you only have $100, don't do it. Okay? Now maybe put 25 of it. That's usually how I do with things. I'll I'll risk some money. That's one thing I'll say with being with some women in my life. They did teach me how to have fun, to relax. And some guys that I know have taught me to take some chances, bigger chances, because sometimes I'm a little too cautious because I don't want to get into the same situations. So you have to take chances. I will say, don't put yourself in a worse situation taking a chance. At the most, maybe bet half, but don't bet the whole thing. And definitely with dating or you're going on relationships, and of course, this is why you shouldn't lead with your money, because if you are spending a lot and then you try to reel it back, the woman can always say, "Well, you're not doing what you used to do in the beginning, and blah, blah, blah. We're not going on the same trips." She's not recognized. And that's the thing that does frustrate me about women here. And I'm pretty sure it's not all you, but it's a lot of you. Because even talking to some relatives of mine, there are women, it's like they have no concept of money. I'm not sure if I said it. I mentioned a $2,000 Birkin bag, and they was like, "Oh, that's not a lot of money." Like, what? Okay, you don't even make that much money in a month, and you acting like that's not a lot of money. Now, probably because you might be able to get a man to get you that bag, or maybe you might be able to get a job that gets you that bag. And sometimes I think some women get too used to men coming and saving them. That's the thing with some women that I know. They're used to somebody coming to save them when they get themselves into a situation. I, as a man, know if I get myself into a situation and don't have no money, especially because I'm not a finesser or I don't try to hustle people out of money, I'm asked out. And who knows what I might do to survive. So it's better that I do not get myself into that situation. So I'm going to throw that in there. Men do not get. Actually, I'm going to do a video about materialistic women. That'll probably be one of my next videos. Leave those women alone, unless if you're just going to make that a short stop, right? Because she looks good for a little fun, and then just leave that alone. I would say don't even waste your time or money, because you can't get that back. I mean, you can get money back in a way, but still, money is attached to time because you're working and then you get money for your time of doing a particular thing. So in a way, you can't get that same money back. You can replace it, but you can't get the same money back. So have a good night, and I hope you learned something from this one.
Here you go.
What is that?
It's your drink. This one you asked for.
Thank you, babe.
You don't like it?
No, thank you, but I usually get. Why so small?
It's because that's all I had enough. I had enough only for that.
You don't have a drink?
No, I didn't have enough.
What do you mean you don't have enough?
I'm broke as hell.
You just got paid today.
Yeah,
So your bank.
Things get rough. I have my car payment, my insurance.
Babe.
Things get rough.
So why'd you get a drink?
I don't know. I just got the little chill drink.
Babe, why'd you get a Starbucks if you didn't have money?
That's because I love you and I spent the last of it on it.
Well, I don't want to drink alone, babe. Here, you drink with me?
I got like 2 cents in my bank account now.
Oh my gosh. And you chose to spend it on Starbucks.
That's because you said you wanted it.
Babe, I didn't know you were broke. Oh my gosh. Do you want me to go in there and get you one?
No, you're good. I'm not even.
Where's all your money?
What you mean?
I know it wasn't payment.
There was payments.
Where'd all your money go?